Thank you, Steve. Steve McFarland from the ARISS and the robot. Here, giving it to Caitlin here.
Hi, so I'm Caitlin. I'm one of the hosts at the Ontario Science Centre here. We just have a few fun little demo things that we actually developed this summer for the Summer of Space that we had at the Ontario Science Centre because this year, or 2019 I guess, was the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 mission. And some of the stuff we have is very relevant to what goes on the International Space Station. So there's just some things sort of talking about weightlessness specifically and the effects that that has on the human body. So if anyone wants to come up, we have some sort of cans here that have different masses in them. Does anyone want to try holding? Here's our, to show you our Earth can. It's got Earth on the top. You want to try holding it? So this is just a mass of about 6,000 beans inside of this can, what they would weigh on the Earth. Now we have another can, the same size, and in theory the same mass, but on the moon, it would weigh about a sixth that it does on the Earth. So you can try holding this and see sort of the difference between those two. The same size object, same mass, but weighing a lot less. And then, of course, on the International Space Station, we would be weightless. It would be zero-G or microgravity. You can sort of toss this around. You can pass them on if you want to try feeling the difference in weight, especially the moon and the Earth one's pretty interesting. Now, these, of course, this microgravity environment has a lot of really harsh effects on the human body, and this is the thing that astronauts have to train for and also have to do exercises to compensate for while they are in space. One of the things we have is a picture, I don't know if all of you can see it, of David Saint-Jacques, sort of our CSA astronaut who was up on the space station last year. And so on Earth, you know, he's got a pretty normal-looking face, pretty handsome guy, but when he's up in space, where there's no gravity sort of pulling the blood and fluid down from his heart and his core down to his legs, all of that fluid can sort of start circulating up into his head and into his chest. And so he gets a very kind of puffy-looking face, as you can see there. It's a pretty weird thing that astronauts have to contend with. And it's not just their exteriors that kind of get looking funny, but also the insides of them start to get looking a little bit funny as well. So this is a cross-section of some human bones. On the right, or sorry, on your left, we have sort of normal bone density. So you can see your bone has a lot of holes in it, a lot of pockets between the different structures. But if you have osteoporosis, a condition which causes your bone density to decrease, then those pores get larger and your bones get more brittle. Now this is a condition we normally associate with old age, but it also happens to astronauts on the space station because their bodies are not having to work as hard to keep themselves up. So we have another quick demonstration of that. Someone wants to try. We kind of have pre-smashed these. So you can imagine this styrofoam cup is sort of like normal bone density on Earth, pretty hard to crush. Does anyone want to come up and try crushing these? Should I just pick someone? Here, you, do you want to come up? Okay. So try and sort of smush this from the top. So it's kind of hard to do that, right? Now this one is if you're up, you know, maybe only compared to what they look like when they're on Earth. We can do it? Okay. So I hope you don't mind. I'm going to just measure the circumference of your ankle. So we got to pick an ankle. Let's do left or right. Okay, so hang on. Stand up for a second first.
Ontario Science Centre, we have 30 seconds before we need to begin.
But we can start with the measurement now. We'll do the chicken leg test later. 10.5. Oh, that's inches. I guess we are talking to NASA though, so that's okay. Okay, we'll do it afterwards. Anyways, if you want to explore more and like chat with us about effects of space on the human body, I'm going to be around here. Rochelle is also outside, one of my colleagues, with a cool space challenge. You can put on some astronaut gloves and pretend to be an astronaut doing operations in space. But thank you very much.
Okay, Brian, we're all yours.
Sounds good. Steve, before we start, can you just confirm how I pronounce Christine's last name, please?
It is Pigeon, yes.
Pigeon. Thank you. I just don't want to offend anybody with the wrong pronunciation.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, we'll begin. Conference operator Amy, could you start our recording, please?
The call is being recorded. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. This is Brian Jackson, Victor Echo 6, Juliet Bravo Juliet in Airdrie, Alberta, Canada. I'll be your amateur radio moderator for today. Through the help of amateur radio volunteers and the crew on the International Space Station, we hope to soon establish ham radio contact with the ISS as it flies more than 350 kilometers above the Earth towards Italy. This is all accomplished with ARISS, amateur radio on the International Space Station. The ISS is currently flying over the Atlantic Ocean on a southwest to northeast heading, whizzing along at around 28,000 kilometers an hour. This contact will be performed using the amateur radio Telebridge network, a worldwide network of amateur radio ground stations that enable students to contact the ISS. ARISS is a consortium of ham radio volunteers from 9 nations that develop and operate the amateur radio station on the International Space Station. Some members of ARISS are the American Radio Relay League, the Worldwide AMSAT Radio Amateur Satellite Corporations, the Canadian Space Agency, the European Space Agency, Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and the Russian Federal Space Agency. The amateur radio ground station that will establish contact with the ISS today is India Kilo 1, Sierra Lima Delta in Casale Monferrato, Italy, operated by Claudio Ariotti and his team. Thanks for helping us out today, Claudio.
Thank you, Brian.
We have about 3 minutes until our contact time. Our contact today is with Luca Parmitano, Kilo Foxtrot 5, Kilo Delta Papa, who will be operating OR4 ISS on board the International Space Station. Luca will be talking with students at the Ontario Science Centre in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The ARISS moderator for this contact is Steve McFarland, Victor Echo 3, Tango Bravo Delta. We've asked Christine Pigeon to please briefly tell us about the Ontario Science Centre and the students who will be taking part today. Go ahead, Christine.
Hello, everyone. Well, we're now in our 51st year, and the Ontario Science Centre continues to inspire the passion for the human adventure called discovery. D3OSC has been a hub for amateur radio operators for much of this time. Today with us, we have members of Jean's family, we have amateur radio volunteers from the Ontario Science Centre, and students from Mark Garneau Collegiate. The Ontario Science Centre would like to thank our colleagues at ARISS, the International Amateur Radio Community, NASA, and all of its partners for all their work in putting this event together. Welcome, everyone. Bienvenue à tous et toutes.
Thanks, Christine. Claudio, before the contact begins, tell us a little about IK1SLD, your ham station, where you are, and how do you like to handle the conversation. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Brian, for your presentation. Briefly, our Telebridge station is located in Casale Monferrato Airport, northwest of Italy, 100 kilometers from Turin. in think to coordinate the conversation between us and the astronaut. So now see the International Space Station approaching to Italy. We have 45 seconds to the acquisition of signals. So microphone back to you, Brian.
Thanks, Claudio. Just a reminder to everybody what we're about to try on the ISS. Even though it's been done for a long time, it still really is an experiment. We can never tell the results, either positive or negative, until this experiment is over. Students, just like Claudio said, please don't forget to say over. Claudio, I'm going to turn it over to you in Italy. It's all yours. Begin the contact when you are ready. Good luck.
Okay, Brian. We have 10 seconds to the acquisition of signals, so I got to call in this moment. Oscar Romeo 4, India Sierra Sierra. This is India Kilo 1, Sierra Lima Delta, Telebridge ground station, calling for a scheduled ARISS contact. Do you copy, Luca? Over.
Hello, this is Luca. How do you read me?
Ok, Oscar Romeo 4, India Sierra Sierra, IK1SLD, Claudio. Good afternoon. Buon pomeriggio, Luca. Your signal is loud and clear. Today we introduced the Ontario Science Centre in Toronto, Canada. Are you ready for first question, Luca? Over.
I'm always ready. Go with the questions.
Okay, go ahead, Canada.
Commander Luca and Italian Claudio, welcome to the Ontario Science Centre and the manifestation of a bucket wish I've had for many, many years. This is very exciting to me. I have two questions to ask. One is, did you have an opinion about extraterrestrial life before being on the ISS? And has being on the ISS changed your views? Over.
Well, good morning. First of all, let me tell you belated happy birthday. My understanding is this is sort of a birthday gift, and I'm really, really honored to be the one talking to you. And for your question, yes, I do have an opinion about extraterrestrial life. It's that I believe that when we consider just the sheer amount of stars in the universe, and then the fact that now we know that most stars have planets around it, it's just more than possible. It's definitely probable that there is something comparable to life out there. And being on the ISS changed my views in the sense that I recently been reading a lot of books about astrobiology, and I'm getting convinced that either life is going to have a biological basis similar to ours, or it's something that we haven't been able to imagine yet. Over.
Thank you. Thank you, Claudio. Lucas, sorry. Second question is, being a mature woman and son, I have done a lot of cleaning in my life. Has seeing Earth from near space given you any thoughts on modifying existing technology? Say attachment to airplanes, for instance, to help with excess greenhouse gas clear-up. Over.
Well, I have been very, very much impressed by the changes on the planet that I've been able to witness in the past 10 years since the first time I became an astronaut, then flying the first time, and then watching the pictures over the years, and then flying again now. And my desire to help make the Earth a better place has certainly increased. I'm not an engineer and I'm not an expert, but I wish that we could use technology as a way to improve, not only the greenhouse effect, but also the cleanliness of our oceans. I have seen projects to help clean some of the plastic from our oceans. I hope that technology gets developed. And I think that for airplanes, the best option in the future is going to be just clean source of energy. I don't know if we will ever be able to have electric engines for airplanes, but that would be certainly one option. Also, biological fuels that pollute less would certainly be another option. But in the end, it has to be a political or global action to try to reduce the use of fossil fossil fuels just to improve the quality of our life and life on Earth and the planet health itself. Over.
My question is, have you seen space junk? How bad is the problem? Over.
I haven't really witnessed space junk unless it could be that some of what we take for shooting stars at night flying underneath us, they might be space junk re-entering. So we don't really have a good way to see them because most of the space junk is quite small. Also, for us, it's not a really big problem because it's mostly at different altitudes, and so we have a way of tracking it from the ground, and we track about 10,000 to 20,000 pieces of space junk of all kinds of sizes, and any time there is any chance that it comes in contact with our orbit, we just change the orbit in order to avoid the problem. Over.
Did you always want to be an astronaut? What did your parents think?
I always wanted to be an astronaut, and it was like my dream, and that I always kept in my pocket. And it changed through the years. Growing up, I wanted to be a writer, I wanted to be a journalist, I wanted to be a pilot. And my parents were always very supportive of all the choices I made in my life. And until the time I went to the Air Force Academy, became a pilot, and then from there it all went, in a way, it went straight to becoming an astronaut from that point on. Over.
What personal item did you bring with you and why? Over.
I did not bring a lot of stuff with me because on the Soyuz we only have about pound and a half, 1.5 kilos of stuff that we can bring. So I brought gifts that I will give back to people on the ground. Some pictures to remind me of my, who I am and my daughters, my family, so that I could also take pictures of them while floating. Very small things. I am not a collector, and I don't really give a lot of values to things that I carry with me in orbit. So most of the stuff that I brought up is to give away. Over.
My question is, what do you miss most about your usual life? Over.
The only thing that I really miss is the human touch, and with that I mean the contact that that I have with my daughters, really, because everything else I know I will get soon. 6 months go by in a flash, but my daughters in the meantime are growing and they're different, and the fact that I cannot be with them all the time, that's really the one thing I really miss. Over.
What is the most stressful situation in space you've been in, and how did it turn out? Over.
I don't really put superlatives to anything, but certainly one of the most stressful situation was probably the emergency that I had during my second EVA, my second spacewalk back in 2013, where my helmet started filling with water due to a malfunction. And since I am talking to you, obviously it turned out pretty well. Over.
What life lessons have you brought back that you can share with us from your most stressful situation in space? Over.
Probably one of the biggest lessons in general that I learned is that it's really hard to live in the moment. For people like me that are very target oriented, I'm always looking for the next big thing. And instead, I try really consciously to look for perfection in every moment around me, and to enjoy with serendipity every moment of what I'm doing. Over.
How do you relieve boredom on the ISS? Do you play with fidget toys, silly putty, games, or listen to music? Over.
Well, it's really hard to get bored on the ISS because first of all, we are very busy doing all the activities during the day. But also, if you're, it's probably your own fault, in my opinion. And we don't have a lot of toys, but we certainly can listen to music. We do have games that we can play together. One of my crewmates brought a Scrabble board, and other than that, I mean, usually we're just pretty busy and happy. I also play instruments, and sometimes I just play the guitar or the keyboard that we have up here. Over.
Does suitcase different on the space station? How do you deal with food cravings? Over.
Some people say that the food is a little more bland up here, but I haven't noticed that, and I don't really have any food cravings. We have a varied menu available from different countries, and I think it's pretty good. Over.
1 minute to loss.
What effects of microgravity have been the hardest to adjust to? Over.
Repeat, please.
This is India Rover 0 SS. I don't read you anymore. Over.
What are your thoughts on the portrayal of space in movies? Over.
Parla troppo piano. Okay, please repeat the question. Okay, Luca, we have a few seconds to lose signal. Luca, you copy?
Claudio, if we lost the station.
Yes, we lost stations, lost the signal.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just shared a moment of history. Amateur radio station India Kilo 1 Sierra Lima Delta in Casella Monferrato, operated by Claudio Ariotti, IK1SLD, and his team, just contacted Luca Parmitano, KF5 KDP, aboard the International Space Station, talking with students at the Ontario Science Centre in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Congratulations to all the students involved, including those in the audience. Give yourself a big hand today. ARISS would again like to thank Steve McFarland, Victor Echo 3 Tango Bravo Delta for his mentorship. Now for the international volunteer team of ARISS, including the Radio Amateur Satellite Corporations around the world, the American Radio Relay League, the CSA, ESA, JAXA, NASA, and Roscosmos. This is Brian Jackson, amateur radio operator, VE6JBJ, sending you greetings to all of you in amateur radio terms. 7-3, or best wishes. Amy, would you please stop the recording?
Recording has been stopped. Thank you.
Congratulations, everybody, at the Ontario Science Centre.
It was hard to hear. Everybody agree?
Steve, are you still there? All right, Claudio, I think we've lost him.
Steve's line disconnected.
Okay, Brian.
Thanks very much, Amy, for all your help today. Claudio, thanks. I appreciate it.
Thank you to you, Brian, and our best greetings to you, Steve, and all the people involved.
Thanks, Claudio. Sitting here with my class of students in grade 6, and they had a chance to listen in. So thanks to you and your team for all your help today.
Thank you to you. To the next time, waiting for the next time. Ciao, ciao from Italy.
All right, ciao, ciao, Claudio.